I'm very, very, very doubtful that we'll get Champions League. And with how our rivals have recruited this summer, they're moving further and further away from us all the time. Back in 2023, even before 2024, I didn't think the gap was that big because I thought that, football is cyclical and those teams who, were fantastic at the time were going to have to recycle players and then we'd have an opportunity, especially when City needed to recycle their team because their players got old and left and everything. But look at Liverpool. Look at Chelsea. Look at the players Chelsea have and the squad they have now. Look at the team they have. The midfield, Fernandes, Caicedo, the backups they have. Defensively, attacking wise, Jar Pedro, Delap when he comes back from injury. The options they have are ridiculous, and they haven't even fully got to title winners probably yet. Maybe they'll get there this season, but I think Liverpool have. I hate to say it, but I think they have almost guaranteed the title today because I don't see how another team stops them. Because I didn't see it from Arsenal yesterday. I thought Arsenal had the chance to go to Anfield and lay down a marker. Didn't take it. Didn't take it. City? No, I can't say it with City. I think they're in a rebuild. I think Donnarumma helps, but I think the defence it isn't good enough for them to win a title, and I think it will take too long for it to click, if it does click, to make it possible for them to win a title. I genuinely can't believe that United in this summer of all summers have decided not to buy a fucking centre midfielder. I cannot fucking believe it. I can't. Any other summer you could say, okay, you've done business, you might leave until next summer. It might be an 80 million, a 90 million, a 100 million signing. It's bordering on criminal negligence that we haven't bought a central midfielder. It's not like there aren't a lot, options out there. Wharton, Stiller. I think Baleba is too expensive, and I would prefer him to have a year at Brighton, quite honestly. But there's loads of midfielders. Ederson for Atlanta. There's loads of midfielders with quality that we could take, but we are absolutely screwing Ruben Amorim today. Absolutely screwing him. There's no question about it now. Because that midfield with Bruno and Casemiro cannot work over a full season. Even without the Champions League, it can't work. Even with the fact that they'll only have the FA Cup after January, it doesn't work. It can't work. Because Casemiro physically can't maintain the output. Bruno isn't a centre midfielder, although he does his best and tries, and he does cover ground and he works hard. He's not a central midfielder, and we need him to be more of a goal contributor further forward. Anyway, he hasn't scored this season apart from the penalty against Burnley, and he's going to need to get assists and goals for us to be successful because he's our best player and because other players won't provide that because he's our best player by miles. It's just absolutely ridiculous. And you can go on about system all day. Three at the back, blah, 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 blah. It's about players. And if you don't have a central midfielder in that two who was able to last physically and who was able to progress the ball, to create chances and to build attacks, I don't want to say we're screwed because I hope that we're not, but I think we are. It's scary, that midfield. It's scary how much our rivals have strengthened. Even Spurs probably have a better midfield than us. Bournemouth probably have a better midfield than us. Brighton probably have a better midfielder than us. Everton might have their midfield might not be far off ours. Newcastle have a better midfield than us. Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, City have a better midfield than us. That's very obvious. It's an absolute joke. And wherever Ruben Amorim is right now, if he's at home, if he's in a coffee shop in Manchester, on holiday, whatever, I don't know. He was supposed to speak to the owners, I think. I can't wait to see how that goes. I can't wait to see the start of that conversation when they walk in the door. Oh, yeah, so Ruben, how do you feel? Great about that midfielder, isn't it? Didn't really need him. Yeah, Ruben's going to be really, really happy with that. He's going to be really impressed. I can't believe it. I genuinely can't believe it. I can't believe I genuinely thought we would go for a central midfielder. I can't believe that Ineos are that stupid that they don't realise how important the central midfield is to this team. It's vital. It's more it's more vital than any of the signings that we made this summer, because buying a midfielder would enable us to progress the ball, to have more control over games, to build attacks, to sustain attacks, and it's just it's tough. It's horrible to see it because when you see what a top midfield is, and when you see what United having a top midfield is, and then this, it's just horrible. And then you see all our rivals, it compounds it. It compounds it.